Hi, I'm Christopher Stewart, or Shane Briant as the UK knows me best. One of the greatest times that I ever had with Peter Cushing is kind of a strange kind of time. He and I had gotten together on several films for Amicus or Hammer or whatever, and we'd been through a lot. We were doing so much that year, and I had to go back and forth between this country and that country. And it was quite an interesting time because what he originally had said was that he had to do this film and then that one. And there was one production he didn't really want to do because he was just not really enthused about the program itself or some of the people involved or etc. And he just was really not looking forward. I mean, he would have looked to a root canal more than that particular production. And but he said it's okay because once it's over, and I get to do something with you right after it. And the interesting thing about this was the production we were doing after that, where he got together with me, was a film called Shockwaves. Now, Shockwaves was not really very well received by some people. It was interesting in of itself, but we had such a great time with it. And it was more of a time of being brothers and being friends and really just enjoying each other because of all the craziness that happened. You know, I mean, here he is. Peter's really looking forward to finally being able to be with me, and it's like the worst day of his life. You know, because I come on set and I'm hearing him scream at the top of his lungs. I've never heard Peter scream like that before. And I'm going back up to his dressing room, and these people are running out of the dressing room like their hair's on fire or something. I walk in and go, Peter, what's wrong? And he's just completely beside himself. I mean, he's pacing the floor, he's screaming, and he's going on and on and on. And the whole thing was his character in Shockwaves was supposed to be some sort of Nazi SS scientist retired on a island or something who invented these terrible Nazi zombie type creatures, etc. And because that was the baseline of his character, he wanted a scar. He wanted a really nice scar. He thought it would really be cool and really neat to actually work with a scar. And these people, oh my God, Scar, Peter Cushing, never, the great icon, no, kind of thing. And he finally just looked at all of them and said, get out. I looked over at the makeup table next to him, and I looked at Peter and said, Peter, sit down. You're driving yourself nuts, if nothing else, by all this pacing. So sit down. And he did. And I said, okay, now first of all, I'm here, okay? You know, everything's going to be fine. I know you're really kind of used to working with us, with me, with like Mario Bava that would do anything and start working you in makeup, etc. Not everybody's going to be that necessarily open, you know, but you kind of got to play with people. You got to kind of still talk to them. They'll be open to it. It just takes them a little bit of time. And that calmed him enough to actually sit still for 5 seconds, which was all I was trying to do. And then I looked at him and I said, now, close your eyes. And he did. And I said, okay, now picture yourself fishing on a beach, on a pier, somewhere. And I started describing this very tranquil setting with clouds and birds and sea and foam and just a really kind of poetic description of any kind of pier anywhere in the world. And he finally fully relaxed. And he was perfectly calm. And he was right on the edge of consciousness. He never really fell asleep. He was just sort of there. And finally he took a deep breath and he said, thank you. Okay. They can do whatever they want to me, and it'll be fine. And I said, it's done. And he said, what do you mean it's done? I said, look in the mirror, it's done. The entire time I was describing this tranquil setting and whatnot, I was working with the makeup jars that they had left on his table, and I was building a scar across his face. And because scars are easy to do with makeup, they really are. They're probably the easiest thing to do, as opposed to like extreme builds, like trying to turn half your face into a lizard or something like that. You know, I mean, that's like really takes a lot of talent. But you know, just a simple scar, anybody could really work with it, so long as you got the putty and the make scar here kind of makeup set that they have for that kind of stuff. And he looked at it and he said, oh my God, that's perfect. That's incredible. And you did that? Wow. I didn't even know that was possible. That's amazing. And I said, well, you know, I worked with Mario Bava and Val Kilmer and several other people. I mean, I've worked with tons of people left and right on makeup, and you know, here we are finally together, and you know, scar's easy. I mean, hell, I just did what, 5 makeup changes for myself with a makeup kit when we did Nevada Heat. You know, no worries, you know. And he was like, fantastic. Okay, they cannot touch a single thing, and I will make sure they understand this. And then we went off and we did the production. And of course, I was just one of the zombies walking around in the background. I think we even dragged in Rutger Hauer to work with us in that production. I think he's also one of the zombies. I don't really remember. And we had a great time with it. It was probably one of the best times in the world working with Peter, because it was more of a family. It was more of being friends and just really enjoying the time we had together, which made it really enjoyable. It was like one of the best times we ever had. I love that part of working with that. The film itself, I never really cared about. It was just being able to sit with him, get him to relax, and build that scar. I mean, that was just like everything. But, you know, Shockwaves is an interesting piece, so that's that.